So the fellas talking football.
Five, four, three, two.
All right, now it's time to bring in a special guest, the one and only, the greatest safety of all times, the hardest hitting safety of all times, however you want to put it, my man, the Hall of Famer, Steve Atwater. What's up, Steve? How you doing?
Hey, not much, Todd. Hey, it's a great introduction, man. Had some great safety that I've played over the years, man, and I'm honored to be considered among one of the best. I'm not the best, but I'm one of the best.
Well, you're the best in our book. You're the best in our book.
Yeah, I agree.
I
You know,
appreciate it.
you've been on a lot of teams, you know, really good teams, some underdog teams. The Broncos this week, they're underdogs against the Buffalo Bills. As underdogs, what do they do in this game to kind of gain momentum and try to get a win?
Well, I would say had the same mentality that they've had throughout the season. Just lay it on the line and knowing that this is one game, you win or go home. And no use to being afraid to make plays, man. This is the time to step up and just execute. And I know everybody on the team knows that they can do it. They've done it against some really good teams this year. Now they got to do it under an immense amount of pressure.
Steve, there were some before the season. There were some national outlets that said the Broncos were like the least talented team in the NFL, expected them to finish with like the number one pick in the draft. A lot of L's thrown out there. Well, why were they so wrong? Like, what were the Broncos able to do to overcome all of these long odds and now like have a shot to make a run in the playoffs?
Yeah, I just think that a lot of people who were making those predictions didn't understand that, hey, we got a young team and stars emerge from everywhere. At the beginning of the season, you don't know who's going to have a great season. I mean, some of the more established guys, they're probably going to have great seasons. But, when you got new guys in the league, guys who have had nice seasons the year before, you don't know how big of a season they're going to have. And some guys have really jumped off the screen. Nick Bonito, playing great football. He and Jay Coop on both ends of the D line. Audric Estime coming in, contributed. Marvin Mims making a jump. Just got so many players who have stepped up. And, obviously Bo Nix, who stepped up, and many people just they hadn't seen it at this level. And so these guys are making a name for themselves, making a name for this team. And I'm super proud of them and hoping that they can go into Buffalo and take care of business.
I think when you go up to Buffalo for a playoff game and you know it's going to be, in the 20s, I think somebody on this Broncos defense needs to set the tone early. Like, you need somebody to go out there and make a hit. And I'm curious who you think could be the guy who could go up there and make that hit.
Oh, man, who would be that guy? Man, would it be Brandon Jones or PJ Locke or Nick? Probably Nick Bonito, man. Nick Bonito's just been doing everything, man. Yeah. He's an amazing player. He's had an amazing year, and he just keeps making play after play after play. So I'll probably say Nick Bonito.
Okay,
set the tone, man, right from the start.
I love that.
Yes.
Steve, you played in a lot of playoff games in your career, and you've been a favorite. You've been an underdog. You've been at home. You've been on the road. I think you even played at Buffalo in a playoff game. What is the challenge of going on the road as an underdog in the playoffs, and what is the key to overcoming that?
Well, I would say that you can't look at it like, hey, you're the underdog. You got to look at it like, hey, we're gonna go in there. We're about to take these boys out. They don't know what's coming. And you just got to have a certain level of confidence. I don't think you got to be cocky, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your teammates, and know that you guys have been putting in the work all year long. And on any given Sunday, anything can happen. I truly believe that. You've seen some of the craziest things in the world happen, and if we go up there and pull off this upset, there's going to be a lot of bettors out there that are going to be upset. A lot of doubters who will be quieted. But like you got on the deal, I believe that anything can happen.
There you go.
Let's go.
Steve, do you bet? You putting some money on this game?
Come on, man. As an employee, I can bet. I never betted much anyway. I had enough from when I played. I went to Vegas one time and I was just gambling some blackjack or something. I lost like $1,800. I'm like, no, I'm done with it. And I know people that did. I've had friends who sat down and lost 25 grand in one sitting, and I'm like, no, I'm never going to get to that point. So that was so long ago, man. I haven't gambled probably in 25 years, man.
Yeah, I don't gamble either. Small increments for me. You know how it is. We work too hard to just lose it in one night, trying to have some fun. Right. So, the Broncos, Sean Payton, historically known for taking chances to win big games. I know you're not a betting man, but what would you say the odds are for him to take a chance, fake punt, do something crazy just to try and get a win this game?
Well, it's kind of a cool position to be in because nobody's expecting you to win. So, yeah. I'm expecting you to win, but a lot of people out there aren't expecting to win. So you can pretty much go out there and take some chances. I think the one thing that's going to be key for us is that we get that run game going. Some of the games this year we haven't been able to really get it going and haven't stuck with it, but it's going to be vital that we keep that Buffalo Bills offense on the sidelines as much as possible, and we got to put some points on the board. But yeah, Sean, he's going to do whatever it takes to win, and I have a lot of confidence in him, man. He's such a smart man. I love how he talks to the media and spends so much time answering every single question, and that just shows that he's passionate about what he does, and he's all in, man. So I know the team's going to be ready, and hopefully they'll give it their best shot.
Steve, you're giving some love to Sean. We got to give some love to you because you are just the nicest guy in the world. You've given all of us the time, from when we just were new reporters or maybe Todd just joining the team. And we can't tell you how much that means to us. And speaking of you, Steve, you're the perfect person to talk about Von Miller playing the Broncos this week because Von Miller, future Hall of Fame player that's playing his former team where he spent most of his time. There was a safety with the New York Jets after spending a decade with the Broncos as a Hall of Famer that played the Broncos his first year outside of being a Bronco. What was that like, Steve? And how do you think Von is going to be able to handle this with all the emotions, especially with just how much he still loves the Broncos?
Yeah, Von obviously loves the Broncos. You see the different stuff that he posts online and that. But I don't know if he's as, emotional as I was, man. Because I got here and we played the Broncos here. And, I just remember before the game, I'm used to being on the Broncos sideline looking up to the right because the flag was in the south end zone. And now I'm on the other side of the field. I'm looking to the left. And I'm looking at all my boys over there on the other side of the field. Man, I got tears just, coming down my face before the game. And but once the game started, I was like, yeah, later for that. I gotta go out here and handle business. I gotta show these boys I can still play. Yeah. And I think Von will have a lot of that, especially, he's getting up there a little bit in age with his career, but he's had a wonderful career, still playing well. And, everybody here in Broncos country is always rooting for him. We don't want him to get the win, but we want him to, to do well.
Yeah. Sure.
Wow. Do you think Bo Nix is ready for this game?
I do. He's young. He's obviously a rookie, but, we've seen kind of some ebbs and flows throughout the season. But I think each low is a little bit higher each time, Mm-hmm. I think he's been steadily getting better and better, and the guys believe in him. You saw the connection that he and Cortland Sutton have now. I love that he feels like he has a receiver in Cortland that he can go to in all types of situations because Cortland's been double covered, and he's throwing it to him, and Cortland's made the catch. So I think Bo's going to go out there and do a nice job. And, looking forward to watching them do their thing.
Speaking of Von, we talked to him earlier this week, and he talked about how when his playing career is over, he wants to come back and live in Denver. And I think it's one of the most special things about the Broncos, how many guys want to come back and live here. You got Todd, you got Peyton Manning, you got you. I'm curious, you were born in Chicago, I think, grew up in St. Louis, played football at Arkansas. And yet, after all was said and done, you wanted to make Denver your home. And I'm curious, what led you to that?
Well, you meet so many people while you play, and I was here for 10 years, and we moved away for a while though. I lived in Atlanta for 12 years, lived in the DC area for about 5 years, and we moved back here because this is where we wanted to be, after all my kids finished up with college and school and everything. And we also asked them, got some feedback from our kids, where do you guys want to be? And they all said Colorado as well. Now only 2 of them live here now, but they flip flop a little bit. But yeah, Denver just a great place to be. And I've had some great memories here. I have some great friends here. The weather, although everybody thinks, a lot of people on the outside thinks it's freezing cold, the weather is beautiful throughout the year. Just a great place, man. And I love the people here.
Well, Steve, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on and chatting with us. Much love to you and the family, and I can't wait to be there for your charity event again. So much love, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate your time. And the wife told me to tell you hello. I told her to talk to her a little bit before I got on here. She said, "Make sure you tell Todd hello."
Well, tell her I said hi.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, man, y'all doing a great job. I appreciate you so much, and keep up the great work.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.